Herbo came in the game with his deep-rooted Chicago drill music and blew up pretty quick. From growing up in Chicago around violence and gunfire, he was pretty lucky to make it out. From getting caught with loaded weapons and shootouts causing him near-death experiences, Herbo has had a pretty wild upbringing throughout his life. This is Top Trend TV, and this is the criminal history of Herbo.
Ass niggas, man. The road, these niggas ain't been outside. We been walking. These niggas, cause we walk right through that shit every day. Niggas time out, they be outside.
Herbert Randall Wright III, aka Herbo, was born on October 6, 1995, on the east side of 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. Growing up was tough, dealing with the streets. Herbo dropped out at the age of 16. His mother was strict, and his father was in his life too, but they couldn't control Herbo's behavior. So he started to get arrested and get in shootouts at an early age. He says he loves the streets, and all of his brothers will kill for him. But Herbo also talks about his struggle with PTSD and how the streets had a big outcome on how he feels today. He says he lost so many homies to the streets that he almost has become numb to death. Plus, in Chicago, once you gain enough exposure and fame, most rappers get out of the city quick because they are quickly targeted by haters and people of envy. Herbo started his career doing 60-second tracks on a flip phone.
Out here chilling. Nuts when I roll up and the yellow thing on full cut, so I just roll up, put the pole up, put it to the shit and it froze up. I ain't even gotta let the pole bust.
Soon gaining exposure, Herbo dropped his first debut mixtape named Welcome to Fazoland. This mixtape quickly gained Herbo exposure from all over. After that, he dropped a mixtape named Pistol P Project, another one named Balling Like I'm Kobe, and one named Strictly For My Fans. He's also had some recent mixtapes that he dropped, named Sessions and PTSD he just dropped this year, 2020. The first song that put Herbo on the map was named Kill Shit, featuring Lil Bibby. This song today has over 45 million views on YouTube. Lil Bibby is one of Herbo's longtime homies. They went to school with each other and grew up together. But Herbo hasn't had the easiest come up throughout his career, with having run-ins with the law involving loaded weapons. Deontay Royal Kimball, Herbert Wright, aka Herbo, and McCarlo Walton were taken into custody on February 22nd, 2018, after their limousine driver tipped off the police that some of his passengers had weapons. Prosecutors said after the driver alerted police, officers did surveillance on the limousine, prosecutors said. About 10:30 p.m. Thursday, officers curbed the limousine in the first block of East Roosevelt Road in the South Loop neighborhood. Prosecutors said at a bail hearing, once the officers stopped the vehicle, 3 men including Herbo exited. One of the men, Deontay Royal Kimball, 25, of Compton, California, was seated alone in the third row of the vehicle and was the last person to get out. Officers found a Glock directly below where he was seated. Prosecutors said, as of Herbo, they said he was observed in the rear driver's side passenger seat, and officers saw him placing a handgun in the pocket directly in front of him. They said the gun was a FN loaded with rounds designed to penetrate body armor. There was 1 in the chamber and 30 in the magazine. Defense attorney William Laws told court Wright, 22, who raps under the name of Gherbo, has a fiance that is 8 months pregnant at the time, and they had plans of getting married in 6 months. Plus, Gherbo has no prior felonies and no violent background, and has been a lifetime resident of Chicago. His defense attorney said, but none of the men had firearm owners' identification cards. Prosecutor said, all 3 of them were charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Another time Gherbo was arrested was on April 2019, and this one was for a domestic altercation. On April 2019, Gherbo was arrested in Atlanta for simple battery following an alleged altercation with his baby mother. Gherbo pled guilty in court for misdemeanor battery. The rapper was sentenced to 12 months probation. He would also be required to complete community service and take a family violence prevention course, according to the police records viewed by Pitchfork. Gherbo entered a negotiation plea with the violence prevention course. When reached out for comment by Pitchfork, Gherbo's attorney, Tanya Miller, offered the following statement. Herbert entered a plea to 1 count of misdemeanor battery and was sentenced to 12 months probation, community service, and family violence prevention course. Herbert is eager to put this incident behind him and to move on with his life and his work, both in the studio and in the community. When Gherbo was arrested initially in April 2019, the Atlanta Police Department stated that officers acted in response to a dispute call and spoke with a woman who said she was in a verbal altercation with the father of her child.
No, that's for what? I don't got to do that just for her to feel good. Why? For pause for what? She gonna still do what she wanna do with her boyfriend, pop up in the club and all that. I want to be with my girl. I really love Taina. I don't want to fucking be with Ari. Yeah. She not about to use me as no puppet, because she got my shit that I paid for.
When at some point he assaulted her, then left the location with their son. The woman also sustained minor scratches as a result of the incident. Gherbo was later released from jail on a $2,000 bond. As of today, Gherbo seems to keep a strong relationship with his son. Unsure of the relationship with his baby mother, Ariana, who seems to be in a relationship with Moneybag Yo, and he actually bought her a new Lamborghini truck for her birthday. So I would pretty much say they are in a committed relationship, unknown of the status. But of today, Gherbo is in a relationship with an IG model of the name of Tiana, and they've been together for about a year and a half now, and seems to be going pretty good. But that'll be about it. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down there in the comments who y'all want to see next. Again, thanks for watching. Be blessed and stay well. Yeah.